Welcome to Northern Powerhouses, our business success stories series of interviews, where we discuss with local business leaders their backgrounds, their successes and challenges, and what's really driving them forwards. And this afternoon, I'm delighted to have back with us Victoria Garcia, who's founder of both BindEthics and of Quick Labs. So, Victoria, firstly, thank you for coming back and spending a bit more time with us. And if you'd like to introduce yourself, BindEthics, what you do, how you help people, that would be wonderful.
Well, thanks, Chris, and thank you for having me again.
Very welcome.
uh, okay, so let's start with BindEthics. I set up BindEthics in 2021,
Yep,
and what we are doing is developing bioadhesives, but specifically adhesives for engineered wood products,
yep,
such as plywood, particle board, basically the typical IKEA board that is made out of wood and glue.
yep.
But that glue, the current glue, is toxic, is carcinogenic. The reason why the final piece of furniture ends up in landfill, massive CO2 footprint, and legislation aiming to eradicate the glue specifically.
Yep.
So BindEthics has developed an alternative, a bio alternative to that glue. And that's what we do with BindEthics. And just to complete the introduction, I think it was less than a year ago, I set up the first science innovation hub in Leeds. So it's basically a small space where we have an open access lab, so laboratory space
Right.
at very affordable prices. And I hope that scientists out there with great ideas will be able to come here and develop their technology.
Wonderful. So hopefully, if there's any scientists looking at this, looking for somewhere to go, you've got somewhere that you can help. And I remember coming to visit you in the lab that you had in just outside York, I think,
Yeah,
after we spoke last time. And so I can understand that sort of space is well, it's critical to developing the products and things that you do in general, I guess. And they're in fairly short supply, is what I picked up from speaking to you.
yeah, very short supply. And actually, when you came to the lab, that lab was in the middle of nowhere. I had really to commute, and it's like so. Then the difference, and something that I've set up, is that it is really close to the train station. So we're 15 minutes away from Leeds train station.
Brilliant,
That is something also very new for this type of space.
brilliant, brilliant. So, obviously, we touched on some new developments, but since we spoke last year, there's been quite a few changes. So, what has happened across the two businesses and for you personally?
Okay, when was it? What the month was it when we last spoke?
I should have it to hand. I'm guessing about June, July.
Chris, don't you remember me? Just like, what's
I,
going on?
I remember you. I'm just not good with dates.
Uh, I think it was something around May because the timeline is really important for me to know what's
Yes,
happened. Like the point is that both companies are growing and moving so fast. I can't even begin to tell you. So I'm just going to start with BindEthics. I think before May, I must have been looking for investment. I think I
yes,
had already secured the massive grant that I was super proud of, the Innovate
yes.
UK
That's
Smart
correct.
Grant. It I must say now that grant, and I was really, really proud because I said it's very, very competitive. Only 4%, between 2 and 4% of the applicants secure that grant,
Wow.
to the point that now Innovate UK
Yes.
has stopped, and that grant had been going on for like years, and then they've realized that yeah, we cannot have a process that is so competitive because basically it's a waste of resources, money, and time. So I was one of the last companies securing that grant. And
Right.
the fact that it's no longer going on shows how competitive it was. So
Brilliant.
yeah, just saying to myself how great I am. Just like, if I don't say it enough.
Very good.
And so then we had secured the grant, and then it was the time to start looking for investment. So I don't know if I got to share like the journey of looking for investment, which was traumatic to me. I'm sorry, I have to say this. Like I put on weight like 3 sizes more because of the stress,
Okay.
and the weight hasn't come off yet. Because of course, like all the stressful things happen, but it was a very tough time, especially because you only have like 3 months to secure it. And the first month, I was like, oh, this is gonna be easy, like as if I had done it a million times. That this is gonna be. It was proven to be very complicated, and thank God we have Lifted Ventures supporting female founders. This is
Right.
known that female founders have it. None of them here complaining, but it is a bit tougher for us than it is for men. And
Yes.
Lifted Ventures, they're doing such a great job that only because of them, and I always say this, because of them and their support, I was able to secure 300, £350,000.
Wow.
That could have landed anywhere in the UK. It could have landed anywhere, anybody that applied for it, because it's a UK grant. And because of them, I secured that private investment. We were able to bring that £500,000 project here to Leeds, and we're
Wow.
employing graduates here, and then innovating further in this area that really needs it. So
Amazing.
that was but I secured it, and then the project started. Oh my God. So then it's like put a team together, um, and everybody working at a very fast pace. So I've made a few mistakes uh, that I learned from,
Sure.
and I think we're in a great position now. Long story short, we are carrying out industrial testing. The glue works really well, and they're like, let's say,
Brilliant.
using their infrastructure, the current manufacturers infrastructure, our glue is a technology that can be easily adopted, and we're delighted with the results so far. So that is BindEthics doing great.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So obviously you talked about the stresses and strains of raising finance for your project. What are some of the things, if somebody was thinking of trying to raise funds, what would be two or three of the things you've learned that you could pass on to maybe shortcut their opportunity?
Well, first of all, I would say, do you really need it?
Okay.
Do you really need it?
Yep.
And this goes, it's so funny because it's not that I'm saying it to somebody else. I set up quick labs.
Yep.
So, that's what I said to myself, when you start a business that is going to be so resource intensive, you go like, I need investment. So then the first thing I thought is like, Victoria, do you really need investment?
Great.
Like,
Okay.
well, yeah, for my vision of having like a the Ryanair of lab, to become the Ryanair of lab
Yes.
space and have one lab in each city in the UK. Yeah, it seems like you need investment. But to have the proof of concept and get started, no, I just need to find a landlord that wants to negotiate, that it's not going to charge me for the rent straight away. I just need to find companies that are willing to donate their equipment or glassware that they don't need. Um, and put the work myself on, let's say, doing the fit out or buying the materials. And so it's like, if you do it like that, it's going to be a bit slower than if you have, say, investment to just pay and get everything off the ground. But it is totally worth it. I've enjoyed every step of the journey,
Yep.
knowing that I was gonna make it. Some people would say, "Yeah, we have equipment," and then they would donate it. I'll go collect it, and they say, "Oh, we have equipment," and then I go and it's like, am I really driving to collect this Second World War chemical equipment? Like, I can't operate with this. But it was always worth it. And then you put your name out there. So I've enjoyed all of that, and I haven't really needed the investment. So that is the first advice that I would give to somebody is like, do you really need the investment? Can you not start small and grow from there?
It sounds like it's when you need the investment, if that makes sense, because it's as you said, prove the concept. If you're going to take money at that point, and I've spoken to quite a few people that said they wasted a lot of money because they had it rather than if they'd have had it at the point at which they needed to grow, that
Yeah.
then they would have known what it was for and therefore used it the right way. Does that make sense?
Totally. It gets your creativity uh, up and running. Like, how can we solve this problem without money? Yeah,
Yes.
let's go and ask. Maybe somebody just wants to help us. So yeah, that'd be the win. But then I'm thinking like, now we are a profitable company now. So Quick Labs is it's so funny because Quick Labs is a revenue generating company. It is profitable at the moment,
Brilliant.
and like so quickly, right? While BindEthics, we're still pre-revenue and and really resource intensive. While quite Quick Labs, it's like, it's just a matter of saving, showing the bank that we're profitable, and then with a loan and our own capital, we can keep on growing.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm going to need investments.
Brilliant, brilliant. Because I mean, it comes with, as you said, challenges. I mean, you've obviously identified quite a few things that went wrong. Not went wrong, sorry, that were challenges that you had to overcome. So if you look back over the last it's about 9-10 months. What are some of the key challenges you've had to overcome? I guess including the finance. And what are some of the key? We'll start with challenges, then we'll come on to wins.
So again, the challenges I think it's like kind of to reinvent yourself. Things have
Yeah.
changed so much that it's as if, and this happened so quickly. I was telling my music teacher yesterday, I was telling her, like, I do not know how this happened. Like, I was featuring the Yorkshire Post like this week. Uh, as you know, the MP Hilary Benn came
Yes.
and visited the
Yes,
site.
I saw that. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, the Royal Society of Chemistry has featured us. There's been super supportive when it comes to the lab space because of the massive shortage
Yes.
worldwide. Um, we secure a place for this Chem UK, is a chemical conference, exhibition conference
Brilliant.
in May. And so we're going to be exhibiting, I'm going to be exhibiting actually with both companies. Those things have, it's as if people know that I exist, that both businesses exist, and it's just like from one day to another. So the biggest challenge, it's been to kind of adapt to what's going on at the moment. And I really mean it. I'm barely sleeping.
Br- Brilliant. And what are some of the key wins you've had? I mean, I know you've had so many, but it'd be good to sort of list some of the things that you say are the greatest achievements that you've had over these last 9 months.
My biggest win, Chris, oh my God, is the people that I found to grow
Great.
both businesses. That is the biggest win.
Great.
Um, eh, I was very lucky that I always had mentors, like business mentors from the Royal Society of Chemistry, given back in the days for BindEthics, and I listened to them. They know me. You know, when you work with somebody, they know your personality. They know, who would you be a good team with. Like, there's people that they know that, like, when I was looking for people, like, I need some scientists, I need a manager, I need something. They would go, yeah, I know some people, but I know that you would guys would not work together. But there was somebody said, like, oh, there's these two couple of people. I think you would be a great team. Oh my, we are a great team. So that is definitely my biggest win, being able to put together a team like that's amazing. Basically by networking. It was not really through
Yeah.
applications, but more like who you know and who you don't know and everything.
But am I right in thinking you've also won some awards as well? Would that be correct?
Chris, I win so many. I don't know which one should we.
Well, which are the ones that are most important to you? I know probably they're not as important as the work you're doing, but what one or two of the ones that you're most proud of?
uh, mm, the most proud of. It should just come easily, right? Um, well, we've like the truth is that Quick Labs has just been shortlisted, like, and it's the first award that we've applied for, and
Yeah.
it's an award, and it's the sustainability award from the businessdesk.com, and
Yep.
we've been shortlisted in one of the categories, and so for Quick Labs, this is I don't know. We're competing against companies like Farah,
Right.
So I don't know if our chances are, but being shortlisted, so it's not even, you say, what is the award you're most proud of? Well, you're shortlisted alongside Farah. That's a massive win.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Well, good luck for that. I mean that
Yeah.
and 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 how good are you? I'm always interested, especially for entrepreneurial people. How good are you, would you say, at celebrating the wins that you've had?
Um, I celebrate in different ways. So, for example, yesterday, um, my team from BindEthics and my team from Quick Labs, they're separated, right? They're different people, but obviously at the beginning everybody's highly involved in anything we do, and then because both companies kind of merge. So obviously the people at BindEthics, we all have good salaries and we're on payroll and everything, but for Quick Labs, the first employee starts next month, so next week.
Yep.
Um, and well, the second employee, sorry, I already have one. So then it's like the second employee that is going to be on site. And yesterday, for example, we're so happy because we already have clients. As I said, we have clients for Quick Labs, even though there's only one person in payroll, everybody has contributed. So then the way is just like I transfer between 50 and 200 pounds to the rest of the people at BindEthics, just the team, because I know they've helped me a lot.
Oh, well,
Uh, so that's one way of celebrating.
yes,
I did it to all
brilliant.
of them. I didn't transfer myself any money. Maybe I should have.
So you
I
can
think
celebrate. You celebrate.
I should have, right? But that's why I celebrate. They got so happy. They were so happy that it's just like, yeah, I like this. So that's how I celebrate. I think tonight I'm gonna go with my friends and have dinner. And I wasn't planning to because I like to chill during the weekends. Like like
Yeah,
every day I'm networking. I'm at this event. I'm talking to people. I'm meeting new people. It's like when the weekend
good.
comes, I put my pajamas on and I work from home.
Cool.
But at least I do it like chill. And today I said like, you know what, everything's going so well, we should go celebrate. So I'll go for dinner tonight.
Brilliant. Well, have fun with that. And what would you say you've learned? I mean, obviously we were in different phases of development of both businesses when we spoke last. What are some of the newer things you've learned that probably because of your experiences?
One of the things that I've learned is that there is always going to be something. I think it was
Yeah.
5 months ago, the Royal Society of Chemistry was coming and visiting, and we're very connected. So with my team, we have a good vibe. So if I get stressed, they get stressed.
Right.
Like the vibe that we just pick up the vibe.
Yeah.
Um, and I got so stressed, and they get stressed, and then they start working like maniacs, like just like to get this done because the Royal Society of Chemistry is coming, and this has to be. Okay, and then only like exactly a couple of weeks ago, oh, the MP is coming, and it's like everything in a rush and like putting everything together, and I am stressed. And so one of the things that I've learned, and last week, just thinking about it, is like there is always going to be something going on. I can't get stressed, and I cannot get my team stressed. It's definitely not worth it. Everything always works, and I don't need to pretend I am Farah or like Croda. It's a startup. Both of them are startups, and shit happens a lot. So just like go with that. Do not try to pretend you're bigger than you are. So, because if you are aware of how big or small you are, it's like, yeah, sure. I don't have fancy cookies to offer the empty. It'll have to be boiled water and like, instant
Yes,
coffee.
that's fair
Sorry.
enough. But I mean, but every large business has to start as a small business. So it's just where we are on the journey, I'd suggest. And we probably talked about this last time, but one thing I was told by the CEO or previous CEO of Action Coach many years ago, and he said, Chris, the job of a business owner is to solve problems. So if you don't like problems, then business ownership probably isn't the right thing. I know it
Yeah,
sounds very basic,
true, true.
but it's true. And the thing I then believe I learned over time, Victoria, was that growth in a business typically causes problems. Growth, they call it growing pains for a reason. Growth. So actually, if we are not having problems, we're probably not growing fast enough. So
Yeah.
and for me, it just allowed me to reposition a problem as something that's an indication of we're going at the right speed.
I like it. I like it. And I think from now on, if I get stressed or if I said that I don't want to, but I'm going to say to myself, and I do it in my personal life, when I have problems with relationships or your neighbors or like more personal thing, I always say to myself, oh, this means that I'm growing. As in, I'm growing as
Yeah,
a person, so it's no problem. And I should really bring that to the business. If we have
cool.
challenges, if there's, if there is a deadline, that shows growth, and I should go for that. So thank you so much for that advice, Chris. I'm gonna
You're
write it down somewhere.
you're very welcome. Please do, yeah, because I mean, it is. I believe it's really true. Is that if we don't have any problems, we're not growing as fast
You're
as
right.
we could grow because it's always growth is always pushing things. Therefore, things will start. The things on that age are going to start to break, be wrong, not be right. So I think it's worth considering. And so, well, there's a quote or saying for you. Do you have any other favorite quotes or sayings that you find yourself using a lot at the moment?
Oh, I should have thought about it.
Don't worry if you don't. It's all
Oh
good.
no. I don't. I don't. Oh,
Please, it's not a problem.
I'll type it.
Some people have loads, some people have none. It's all good. But and in terms of learning, what would you say you've further learned about yourself over this last year?
What I've learned, or what
Oh
I
yeah,
think
what
I'm
have you
going to
learned
learn.
about yourself? Yeah.
One of the things that I've actually was not so much of a learning, but more of a realization is as Um, how much more patient I've become and how uh, much more confident I've become. And confidence is not to think that this is going to work and this is going to be great. Confidence is that if this fails, I'm still freaking awesome. That's what I've realized.
Yeah, we'll get there. It
Yeah.
being successful isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's just getting to the end result.
Yeah. And if you like, I think that's it. Like now when I project, like, okay, this might not work, I'm confident that it will work. But if it doesn't, I'm not going to be worried now, and I'm not going to be worried when and if it fails. So I think that is, but it's been a realization, and I had it like recently, like last month. I was like, yeah, I'm so, I'm like, I'm really chill for for what is coming to us. So yeah, that's it. The learning.
Brilliant, brilliant. And so, looking forward, you say you're looking forward. What does the future look like for the next 2 or 3 years for you guys? And
Oh my
what,
God. But the vision that I have is really that we are going to start sending samples of our engineered wood boards to, to have some in the pocket for an unknown reason. I really don't know. Well, I have them in the pocket every time because I thought so. Like the samples, this is with
brilliant.
our glue, right? And I think I've shown you
Yeah, yeah,
before.
yeah.
But
Brilliant.
basically, our engineered wood, it is all tested. It works industrially. So now we're about to start sending samples to IKEA, to Kronospan, to the big
Wonderful.
ones. Guys, do you want this or not?
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, and the other day I was talking to somebody and I said, "What's your plan for the future?" I said, "I want to exit the company between 2028 and 2029, so like between 3 and 4 years, and I want to sell the company for 100 million minimum." I was like, "God, you're crazy." It's like, well, that's and I have full confidence that I know, like I have numbers backing me up. I'm not just saying this out of thin air,
No, no, no.
based on the market and all the data. And what we have achieved is like it is absolutely reasonable.
Brilliant.
So in terms of BindEthics, I just see that and I can't wait to give back to the investors that trusted me.
Yep.
That is going to be the moment when I can give back. And then for Quick Labs is my vision, which is cheap, affordable lab space for scientists and have one of them in each city in the UK. And that is where I'm going.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And I've no doubt you'll get there. There's it,
I might not, but I'm gonna try.
oh no, I think it's only about how fast I think is the only thing that we need to work on that one. And well, I wish you best of luck. I've no doubt you'll get there. I think it sounds again with this opportunity that now you're at that point of actually sending out the samples to some of these huge companies. It'd be great when as you get those wins, perhaps we can talk again and you can tell us what
Definitely.
working with large organizations like that might be like and the pitfalls and challenges of doing so. But for now, thank you so much for your time today. And for anyone that's interested in contacting you for either of the businesses, what would be the easiest way to do that?
By email, by LinkedIn, like, and I always email back. So if I receive an email, unless it lands in spam, I always email back to say,
Brilliant,
at least to say, well, this is not of, I'm not interested for whatever reason, but I always email people back.
brilliant, brilliant. Well, look, as I say, it'd be great to swing by again in another 6, 9, 12 months and just see how things are going. But for now, thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Chris.
Brilliant, thank you.